Hello everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into one of the standout K-Tech companies from K-INNOSHOW 2025. It's a South Korean firm called KLCube, and they are tackling a massive communications challenge with some really inspiring human-centered technology. And this right here, this is the core idea driving everything they do. A world where no one is left behind. It's a really powerful vision, and honestly, it's the key to understanding their technology and why it matters so much. So let's get into it. To really grasp why KCcube's innovation is such a big deal, we first need to wrap our heads around the problem they're solving. It's a communication gap that is way wider than most of us probably realize. Okay, so check this out. The scale of the challenge is just huge. Spoken Korean has over 510,000 words. Korean Sign Language, or KSL, has around 120,000. But this isn't just a vocabulary issue. See, fundamental parts of grammar, like the little particles that tell you what the subject of a sentence is, they don't even exist in KSL. A simple sentence can just completely lose its meaning, creating a very real language barrier. And if that language gap wasn't enough, there's a serious shortage of human interpreters. In South Korea, you've got about 940 certified interpreters for a hearing-impaired population of over 430,000. That works out to just one interpreter for every 459 people. I mean, can you imagine needing to go to the bank or a hospital and facing those kinds of odds? A text solution isn't just a nice-to-have, it's an absolute necessity. And here's the thing. Providing this kind of access is shifting from being an option to a flat-out requirement. You've got laws like Korea's Disability Discrimination Act and global standards like the ADA in the US that are pushing for digital accessibility. And beyond that, it's becoming a huge part of what it means to be a responsible company. For today's businesses, being inclusive isn't just good for the soul, it's good for business. So, how in the world do you bridge a gap that big, with not enough resources to go around? Well, this is where technology steps up. And it's where KLCube introduces its truly game-changing solution. They call it Hand Sign Verse. And at its heart, it's a platform that uses AI to generate these incredibly realistic 3D sign language avatars, and it does it directly from text. The whole idea is to deliver clear, accurate sign language whenever and wherever it's needed. The process itself is, well, elegantly simple when you see it laid out. First, you just put in some text. Then, KLCcube's AI engine, which is super smart, it's been trained on massive amounts of data, translates that text into proper sign language grammar. And finally, a 3D avatar pops up and performs the signs, complete with all those crucial facial expressions, ready to go on a kiosk, a website, or your phone. But here's the thing. This isn't just about pushing information out one way. KOREA's ultimate goal is to build a complete two-way communication bridge. So the platform is being developed to not only generate signs from text, but to also recognize a person signing and translate it back into text. We're talking about a real flowing conversation. That's the dream. Now this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But this is not just some concept in a lab. KLCube is already turning all this theory into reality. The technology is out in the world, it's making a real impact, and the company is seeing some incredible momentum. And what a ride it's been. KLCube was founded back in 2017, and they have moved so fast. They went from the early stages of just processing data to building these incredibly sophisticated AI platforms. By 2023, they were already delivering their first AI sign language services. And now, they're winning global awards and getting ready to expand internationally. If you want proof that this is taking off, just look at the revenue. In 2022, the company brought in 7.4 billion Korean won. By 2024, that number leaped to 13.2 billion. You don't almost double your revenue in just 2 years unless you're solving a very real problem that people need fixed. That kind of growth just doesn't happen without trust. KLCube has built up this really strong network of partners in some major industries. We're talking about key players in finance like NH Bank, corporate giants like GS Caltex, and vital public services like local health centers and government offices. This just proves the tech is solid, reliable, and has a ton of different uses. And yep, the rest of the world is taking notice. Their innovation isn't just being celebrated at home, it's getting top awards on the world stage.
Winning a CES Innovation Award and an Edison Award in the same year, 2025, that is a massive stamp of approval. It's the global tech community basically saying what you guys are doing is world-class.
So the technology is impressive, the growth is clear, but what does it all add up to? What's the bigger vision here? That's where this story gets even more compelling.
When you boil it all down, KLCube's ambition brings us right back to where we started, to their mission. The goal here isn't just to sell a product. It's to build a barrier-free world, using technology to systematically tear down the obstacles that create exclusion. It's about making sure nobody gets left behind in our digital age.
And this kind of mission-driven innovation is a really powerful trend in K-Tech. It's not happening in a vacuum. The growth of these South Korean tech companies, the ones that create both economic and social value, is being actively supported by organizations like the Ministry of SMEs and Startups, which has even given KLCube's CEO an award for his work.
Which really leaves us with a final big question. KLCube is showing us that AI can help bridge a fundamental communication gap that's existed for, well, forever. It really makes you wonder, if we can solve this, what other huge human barriers can we break down with this kind of focused, human-centric innovation?